Hello, it's Soul with some more Shadowlands coverage. You know, it'd be kind of stupid to ask, oh, is gathering going to make money? Because of course, it's going to make money, huge money, actually, especially in those first few critical weeks into Shadowlands. In fact, I think resource trading and farming is going to be at an all-time high because overall professions are super hungry. On top of that, there are no recipe ranks to reduce costs or provide additional bonus procs, so as far as things look on the beta at the moment, resource consumption is not going to change as long as demand does not. So this dive is going to take in all the previous experience we've accumulated and get into predictions as to what will be the most sought after resources in Shadowlands. But as always, it ultimately depends on your realm's economy. In general, everything's gonna make money. You just go in any direction or discipline that you like, you get stuff, you throw it up on the auction house, and you watch the money roll in. But what might make the most money? What might be in the most demand? Let's find out, starting with herbs. As always, herbs are going to be in high demand, with their usage spread across alchemy and inscription and even leatherworking? Yeah, there are recipes that fuse leather and herb to make a special leather, but on the beta we have no idea what it's for. That is, it's not used for any known recipes, so stay tuned for that. Thanks to inscription, even less valuable herbs will be swooped up, but that's kind of the usual thing. Smart scribes are going to be selling their backstock of tomes that they've developed over the previous expansions. They'll be doing that for a while, but they'll still be upping their skills and prepping their inventory when reputation contracts become available. These are going to be in especially high demand because there are a number of other profession recipes that are locked behind reputation, like cauldrons. But thanks to alchemy, one herb stands apart from the rest, and that's Widowbloom. Widowbloom is used in a number of popular items like flasks, and notice that there are only two kinds of flasks, throughput and stamina. It's also used in the cooldown pots that synergize with weapon oils and agility stat potions, which are more than likely going to be made in mass quantities. Widowbloom is found in Revendreth, meaning that in the first few hours of Shadowlands, no one is going to have Widowbloom, because while leveling you need to complete the zones in order, and Revendreth is the last zone you complete. If your gatherers are alts though, don't worry your head off, because alts don't have to go through that same leveling process, and they can immediately travel to Revendreth or whichever zone. So in the long run, you can relax. In the short run though, it's a freaking race, so a tip if you have lots of gathering alts, level that first character of yours quickly so you can quickly spread your access. Anyway, all this doesn't mean alchemists don't value the other herbs. All of these zone-specific herbs are used to make flasks, though I should point out that the stamina flask is pretty cheap to make by comparison, so yay tanks. Death's Blossom, the generic herb, is used in oils, which are going to be used quite a bit too. Let's move on to mining, and mining it's a little bit weird at the moment. Like herbalism, there's ore specific to each zone, along with ore that appears all over the place. What's weird is that, at least at the moment, blacksmithing and engineering don't use the zone-specific ore at all, except for like one recipe, so I wouldn't come to any conclusions on that just yet. I'm just gonna hesitantly speculate that these two professions are going to be less dependent on these zone-specific ore, but they will be all over Leystrite, which is the ore found in any zone. Meanwhile, jewel crafting has pretty much free reign over the zone-specific ore, with recipes that do use them all to a pretty thirsty degree, and on top of that they use this Leystrite stuff. It's only a small comfort that jewel crafting won't be directly competing with blacksmithing and engineering for all of the ore types, at least not that we know of yet. And of the zone-specific ore, unfortunately I couldn't reasonably farm up enough of everything to determine if like one ore prospects into more of one color gem versus another, but I have a pretty good feeling that you're just going to want to pick up everything anyway. I am counting on a future beta build to update recipes to use this other ore, but if not, well, that means blacksmiths or engineers who also take mining as their other profession can sell a lot of ore that they just happen to run into. Cha-ching, right? Now let's move on to leather. You're used to skinning leather or hide and then wrapping them up to make heavy leather or hide and so on and so forth. There's no change there. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong, but leather workers will be able to make the first consumable that they can make in quite some time in the form of armor kits, where using them can equate to roughly a 5,000 HP bonus, which is pretty significant early on. And for anyone who's progression minded, they're going to take anything that they can get all the time, which means that the likelihood of a sustained price of leather and heavy leather is pretty high. Beyond that though, expect a modest increase in leather selling because armor kits are the only consumable. Ore and leather, overall they're going to enjoy some higher prices thanks to what we hope to be the consistent crafting of legendaries, and the process starts with you folks. For the fishing fiends out there, well, you lucked out because at the moment, cooking recipes are totally punishing. So check this right here. This is the 9-0 feast of Shadowlands, which demands 20 of 2 types of fish and these candied amberjack cakes, whatever. Which in order to make, you need 20 of 2 more types of fish. So you need 80 fish per feast. And I'm not even talking about the meat. As for the most in-demand fish though, there might be 2 winners. In Maldraxxus, there's pocked bonefish, which is used in food that gives you a bear tartar-like effect. In Bastion, Silvergill pike is used for boosting your out-of-combat healing, which might be good for Grievous, I believe that's what that one is called. Now, it's once again important, very important, to remind you all that we're still in a beta phase. Stuff is subject to change. Stuff has been changing, but this ought to give you an idea of what your gathering is going to be like in Shadowlands. You're gonna make money, and hopefully some of these clues will help you eke out just a little bit more so you can buy, whatever it is that Blizzard throws at us. So I hope this was useful. If so, please hit that like button and subscribe for more of this and all things Warcraft. We'll see you later. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, stay rich too, and stay breezy.